Hi, neighbors. Gotta get the hack of this stick. Mm. Anyway. So yesterday there was birds out on the porch all day. I gotta watch them because in the past I know they've been digging up seeds, some of my seeds, and I noticed they look like they've been pulling up soybeans. I only got a small amount to see how they would work out, but anyway. So yesterday they like eating the seeds that I put out for them, and that mix thing. The Cardinals love that. It's like a brick. And but these other little birds have been coming by and eating the seeds. I don't know what they are. But then I noticed yesterday they're going under the railing. I had no idea why they were doing that. Saw them doing it a couple times during the day. Then I noticed they're doing the nasty under there. And when they're done, the male one feeds the female one seeds. I don't know what to take of that. Is this some kind of bird prostitution? It was just weird. She tilts her head back and he's dropping the seeds. And, got really creepy after watching them all day. Got really super creepy. Um, it's funny. The cat doesn't care at all. I think he gets annoyed. Yeah, he's just popped out here. I think he gets annoyed by the chirping. But hey, buddy. Yeah, you can hear them out there, but I don't think. Other than that, he's not really that interested. Oh, checking out the potato plants. Maybe I'll record them later. But growing like mad. And marigolds that I planted, they look nice. Now there's all kinds of stuff popping up out of the ground now from other seeds. It takes about a month after you plant a seed, about a month, for something to come up. Then once it's up, and once it's up, they tend to take off. Um, I've already got pumpkin seeds that I planted like a month, more than a month ago, and then I just planted some more. It's this weather, it would just stop. And then I went out there the other night, running over there putting plastic on. I think I'm going to cut up some sheets again in case that happens again. God, people, it's coming on Memorial Day. I remember back in 75 or 76. I'm not sure of the year. Easter in April. It was like 76 degrees. And and it stayed hot the whole rest of the summer. I think it was 76. It stayed really hot every single day. If I'm That was the year I was cooking steak subs, 76 on the City Hall Plaza. We got so popular that like we ran out of food every day, and I just kind of sat there. See, I set the whole thing up by myself, and there was a stand underneath one Center Plaza in the garage, and I couldn't take that out; wouldn't fit in an elevator, so I had to push it out through the entrance exit of the garage, and it was very steep. I weighed about 105 pounds up there, but it's rolling that thing out every day and then getting it back down the hill. One time I screwed up and it rolled out in the middle of Cambridge Street, and that was almost a disaster. But I had to bring everything down. It had propane tanks, so that stand, the food I had to bring down separately because I was the only one in at that time of the morning to do it. Then when it was all set up, everybody would stroll in. Well, at the end of the day, I did nothing. And these girls that worked there, when I was questioned about, you going to help us? I'm like, where were you this morning? I said, if you're in the morning, I said, when I'm mixing up meat and onions and setting all this stuff up, yeah, I'd help you, but no, I'm not. And they would just sit there. And each day we went on, we closed up earlier and earlier. The guys in the suits loved this marinated, it was allegedly Japanese steak and onions, and it was just so good. It really was good. But the restaurant sponsored it was Dandelion's Restaurant, and there's still a restaurant in that spot up on across from the courthouse at One Center. It was Dandelion's for a year after that. It had Dandelion wallpaper. I could have worked there at the end of the summer up in the restaurant when I was done, like part-time, but I wasn't in the mood to go that far in town to do it every day. And I was worn out. I was worn out after that. You're standing over a hot girl and the temperature is ridiculous and people are bugging you, but yeah. I don't know. It was a decent job. It was a decent job. I didn't have a lot of time left to spend my money that year, I remember. I was just so tired when I got home. I'd get off of the bus um, on the corner and just go home from there most of the time. Wait till the sun went down, then maybe sat out in front of the house. We all smoked cigarettes back then. Ladies drank hot tea. Um, Iced tea wasn't a big thing, but an August night, 80 degrees, sitting out drinking hot tea. Uh, the breeze was so nice up there, and we're up in the hill. Um, just sit out there in the beach chairs or on the stairs. Yeah. It's one of the good things about living there, I guess. I noticed this when I bought my condo down in Raynham. That would have been 2000 or 2001. That I sat out one night at a front porch, and then I realized nobody else did. They were all a generation below. I mean, it was almost be apparent to all of them. I think the rest of them lived there, except for one lady, who after I lived there about 5 years found out that she grew up in G Street in Southie. It was too funny. She's Clarity, who turns out are cousins to us. So, anyway, but nobody sat out, and we lived in the boonies and trees, and people go in and shut the door. They come out. They go in the car. It's like that's sad. Then I started noticing it around, like other place neighborhoods, and nobody did that anymore. I guess it's too much to watch on TV. I don't know. Got an appointment, first appointment this morning, 9:55. The second one an hour after that. The waiting is a pain in the ass too. It's like when they call your name, if it's on time, then you get like almost another hour to wait for the next one. Lately, it's been running a little late, but you still have to be there 15 minutes before the first appointment, 15 before the second. Well, you're already there, and then the third one, of course, is juice time. I don't know if they're gonna plug me into the pump today because it's usually the latest is a Wednesday and I go back on Friday or Tuesday and Thursday to get it hooked. Now I don't know if this place is open 7 days a week or not. It takes 2 days for it to get in you. So I don't know. Maybe they are open on Sundays. I don't want to wait till Monday. I don't want any extra because it'll just sit there with nothing going in, whatever. Hey, buddy. Hey, smile for your fans. Mr. Like 2,000 coming up from 3,000 views. Me, I've got 50. I hope you got in there. Let's see. Because with these in the video, everybody watches it. I wish I could see everybody that's watched it. If there's a list there somewhere, I haven't found it yet. So I made a so far successful cutting from that plant right there. It should work out. I've done this in the past off of a plant 3 or 4 times. I got to figure out how to do it. We have a rhododendron out front, and tried to do it before. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. I don't know. But rhododendrons you can do cuttings off of. Apparently everyone in this country or the rest of the world has started off from one plant. They're grown they come from China. But I'm going to give it another try. Don't tell anybody. We get a lot of plants around here. And half-ass landscapers. They can't cut a bush right. They're always messing it up. They can cut grass. They love storming around here. Them stand-up mowers. It seems like 90 miles an hour. We need to keep better care of some of the trees here, though. We had a whole entire tree fall over a couple of years ago. In between two cars, it was just, Jesus. Took them 2.5 days to get the thing out of the parking lot. It was ridiculous. So that corrupt U.S. attorney that used to be the DA is resigning. Oh, there's depressing Michelle Wu. Woman always looks like she wants to just jump in a lake or something. And not to go swimming. I don't. She's gonna work on her facials. Be more positive. Like the governor. The governor's very positive. The governor's very positive. I'm so happy that women are beginning to run everything. My whole life I've heard, if we ran things, and I used to say, oh, please run things. Please run it. Please run everything. Please. But I guess the woman can be just as corrupt. 30 Celtics tickets for the U.S. attorney. Huh. Influencing an election. Well, that's what all her male predecessors did their entire careers. Up. You coming up? Hey. Up. Come on. I moved my little fridge out into the living room. So, there you go. See him? You see him? You coming over here? You coming? Come here. Come here. Oh, he's purring. He never used to purr until I said he never purrs. Now he purrs. I don't think you can hear him. Can you hear him? It's not much of a purr, more like a it seems like a nasal blockage. Oh, he doesn't know what he wants today. It's still early. What is early for a cat who sleeps most of the day? Huh? You know your kiss? Thank you. I got a little tongue on my forehead that time. Oh my God. Oh, look at Uncle Joe on the TV. Every time he starts talking, I feel like I'm back at the Marion Manor and it's 1978. Oh, they're at a summit in Japan. Geez, he could fly all the way to Japan, but he couldn't go to the coronation. Probably is Irish in him. I guess I don't blame him. Pollen forecast, birch, maple, and poplar. Oh, he's shedding. Oh, God. I bought a glove that he'll let me use it sometimes, but if he's already only laying down, get some of this excess hair off him. Oh, what do I do today? What's today? Oh, right. Chemo. Yeah. All right. I'll probably be pretty tired after I'm done with that. Didn't sleep the other night. Slept a little more this past night. Coffee time. I've tried it with condensed milk. It's pretty good. But the condensed milk's like a jelly. I didn't really like that. I remember being in the house when I was a kid. I think used it for baking. But I wonder if people did use it in their tea too. I don't know. Probably cheaper than sugar. I bought a sugar bowl. Yes, diabetics are all out a little bit of sugar. You have to monitor everything. Sugar was up a little bit this morning, more than it normally is, but it happens. I took everything. Took my blood pressure too. Right. Oh, it's 612. Tonight. Is he on there? Yeah, that's. He's sleeping on the corner or meditating. My meditation has been getting better lately. The original idea to do something like this was talk about how people meditate. I want to interview people. But everybody moves around so much, zipping and dipping and doing whatever. Wicker furniture. Isn't it weird to make furniture out of grass? Because that's pretty much what wicker is. Dries and it hides. Wicca, 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 wicca. One time back at Bradley's, we took on these containers. It was full of wicker furniture. But what had happened was that some kind of bugs had laid eggs in them. Whether in the furniture, in the container, whatever. But they opened up a couple of them and they had hatched. And it was this just white swarm that came out. And whatever they were, they only lasted like half a day and then they just dropped dead. But there was millions of them. When they opened the doors, you couldn't see down that end of the warehouse. It was crazy. I think we still sold it though. I don't think we threw them away. I think we ever did that with anything. Elizabeth Hopkins has this hairdo that I hate, where she slicks it all back on the top of her head. She does it about once a week. I do not like it. But she's not in a cocktail dress today. Oh my God, look at this. Can you see this? What a Maka Ubaka is wearing. No, wait a minute. She's not a Maka Ubaka. Good God, sorry. That girl's on Channel 7. Can't remember this one's name is. Memory's still COVID screwed up. COVID combined with chemo combined with. Where am I? Who am I? Look at pregnant woman on RSV vaccine for pregnant woman. I don't know. What's the RSV? I missed that one. This is good. Got a new drink mix yesterday, powdered mix in the generic variety. You know what's funny? I don't remember eating any generics when I was a kid or even a young adult. Until it started store brands. When they started popping up, they called them store brands. I think it was Stop and Shop maybe did it first. But everything was just a name brand. But I mean, a lot of the stuff we bought was made locally. You know, Sunbeam bread, Wonder bread. Everything was just made locally. I can't remember. I don't even remember the first things that came in that maybe were generic. Oh. I remember he had like two milks to pick, Whiting's and Hood. I remember one year they changed our milk in school from the, like the rooftop kind, the top and then goes down the sides to it was like a stand-up rectangle, and it had a button that you pulled out. We remember they changed that one year in school, and then that was it. I liked it okay, but they changed back the following year. I remember they didn't refrigerate it in the schools because they didn't refrigerate it, so they just put it in the basements. And I remember the basements. I don't know how far below ground they were, but they were just always cool, the same temperature. I remember the one in the John A. Andrew, the Michael Jacob Perkins, Thomas and Hart, John. No, what was it? Benjamin Dean. I don't know if he had a middle initial now. Anyway, the one in the Andrew, oh my God, that basement, the school was 100 years old when I went to it. All the bathroom stalls were wood, all the toilets in there, I'm guessing they were original, and they didn't have outhouses back then. The Andrew had the smallest yard to go out in. There wasn't a lot of room there. It was built in a spot that already had houses existing on it. Some of the schools weren't like that. They were built on bigger plots of land, and there was nothing around it. It depended. There was a big building boom in the 1870s in South Boston. There was one particular guy, birds are out there, cardinals out there. Well, last time Johnson around that time built a lot of houses in Southie, connecting. I mean, you couldn't go through, but they were all connected, three, four, five in a row, and a lot of them are still around. Probably all still around. Yeah, Johnson. I like to look up building permits, and they have the old ones. And I mean, this guy would build up to five at the same time. Cheaper to do it that way. You get your framers, and they just would probably go from one to the next to the next. Like I think they probably still do now. Um, and a lot of these guys were Irish guys who had worked on boats and ships, who learned to build on wooden with ships, boat rates, and they already knew how to measure. Obviously, I wonder where the wood from a lot of this came from. It's not locally, not around here. Most just felt it was pasture land and rock, big rocky tops. They've torn down three or four of them in Southie to level off the land or just make it closer. There was a big one down at Second Street, and then the whole Heights area was torn down to the level of Thomas Park and G Street. All of that all going over to where the courthouse is was the rest of it. It was, several feet higher. And that's where the cannons were, or cannon. But it was all stripped down and described as, well, it could be called terracing, but anyway, yeah, there was bigger, like, outlooks. You can see it in some of the drawings or paintings. I don't know how accurate they were. I think a lot of them actually might have been done after this stuff was, and then they built the reservoir. Of course, the wall went all the way around. The high school would be sitting in the middle of that. The wall went all the way around. I found one picture of that full of water, just one. It was built in the 1840s. Then after it sat for like 40 years unused with stagnant water, and that must have been so gross. But so it was drained, obviously. And then they tore down the part of the wall where the high school is, and so the park itself actually was the back of it, and that's why it's tilted like that. That wasn't natural. That was why it's tilted. That's how you build a reservoir. Now we're at the bottom usually. One of the man-made ones like Quabbin. Quabbin's amazing. I was out there a few years ago, and it was very, very low, and you could see the rock walls from the former, houses and churches and different things that were there. They never took those out. They tore some of the built houses down. I think they left some of them before they dammed it up, but it's massive. But anyway, nice that Turbo decided to co-star this morning. He's still over there. Well, I'm going to go finish my coffee, then at some point bathe, and then go head on down to the center for the blood and the juice and and then they'll have a meeting at some point to decide further treatment, if I need further treatment. I just want to stop being so tired and weak. It's funny, as it comes closer to the day of the chemo, I gave the king to regain some strength and not as tired like I was awake the other night. But then as soon as I get it in, it takes maybe a day to completely go in and corrupt my system. And I feel like shit for almost another 2 weeks. I don't think anybody really believes you how tired you get. So tired. So Oof. I guess I wasn't that cheery the last time I went. Not my usual self, somebody said. The fuck knows what my usual self is. I don't even know. So maybe we'll try to be a little more upbeat today. You know, upbeat. I don't know. We'll see. Not promising anything. Mm. Anyway, haven't decided whether to leave this beer going all the way until Christmas. Usually shave off July, August. Shave a couple days here and there. I hate shaving. Anyway, and then just go until December and then shave it off the day after Christmas. But I might just leave it. See how big it gets. It's actually growing slower. Wonder why than it normally does. So, anyway, signing off for now. Everybody be careful out there. Carry on.